Well, real concerns there about London's transport system. So what are the mayoral candidates going to do about it? Should they get the keys to City Hall? Our reporter Jessica Ewart went to meet them.
Thank you very much.
So the first thing I would do on the very first day that I was Mayor of London, I would stop the ULEZ expansion, without doubt, no question. Journeys in London are necessary. People don't just go out and joyride in London for no reason. We've all got to get from A to B. If you're disabled, very often you will be in a vehicle. One of the things I've absolutely promised is that I would put CCTV in every underground carriage, because that would, if people that were up to no good knew that they were being watched and that it was being recorded, I think that would stop an awful lot, hopefully eliminate the amount of sexual harassment we get on the underground. We've seen recently knives on the underground. The other thing that is not fair is this London pay per mile. Now he's now saying, oh, I wouldn't bring it in. But it's rubbish. He said he would never bring in the ULEZ expansion. And of course he did. So he can't be trusted on that.
Your Conservative opponent has questioned your position on it.
I've made it quite clear, as long as I'm mayor, there'll be no pay per mile. In fact, I wrote to the Commissioner saying it quite clear to him. And Londoners should worry about a Conservative candidate willing to spread lies, misinformation. My first commitment is to keep fares as low as possible, particularly during this cost of living crisis. I'm really proud to have introduced the Hopper bus fare, which means unlimited bus and tram travel within an hour. My second commitment is to massively increase bus kilometres across our city. I'm really proud over the last year alone. We've increased by more than 1 million bus kilometres the services in outer London. If I'm re-elected, there'll be a massive increase in buses across London, particularly outer London, but also we'll introduce a second Superloop Express service, the Baker Loop. And my third pledge to Londoners is to make sure our public transport improves even more. We're going to be investing in new trains on many of our lines. We'll be cutting bus waiting times, massively improving walking and cycling.
I'm committing to reinstating the free travel for older people so they can get out and about 24 hours a day. We have an ambition for making a one flat fare for the whole city.
What would that one flat fare look like?
It's been estimated to cost about 450 million, so it's something that we'd have to work with government to get that funding for, but we're talking about maybe bringing it in on the DLR first. So I'm proposing a consultation with Londoners to make our road user charging fairer, also making sure we're dedicating some of our transport routes like the Hammersmith Bridge, permanently designating that to walking, wheeling and cycling, and also repurposing things like the Silvertown Tunnel.
We need to build new tube and train lines so that people in outer London can get around more easily. We can do this by getting a long-term funding agreement with national government to get building again.
Are there any particular parts of London where you would see a new tube station put?
Well, we're very interested in bringing maybe a tram or overground to Sutton. I would protect buses from being cut any further. Under the mayor, bus routes have been cut by 22 million miles. I'm going to maintain the tube properly. Right now, people are very frustrated by tubes breaking down, particularly on things like the Central Line.
The first thing I'm going to do on the first day I walk in this, I'm going to shut down ULEZ right across the whole of the city. It's all going. Plus LTNs, 20-mile-an-hour limits, speed bumps, pinch points, excessively wide cycle lanes, they're all going. I want to do a root and branch analysis, economic analysis of how TfL operates. So 1,100 staff working in understudy Carnival, which most of them are in TfL, earning £100,000 a year or more. There's even one earning 300,000 to 400,000. That cannot be justified. That's just one thing. But there's also things like all the virtual signalling policies he's putting in, millions into various things like renaming stations. That's all going to go.